your skin, that shit is popping, girl. Body on 10, damn, you got it, girl. You gotta boss up. Getting them checks, hitting your base, racks up. Oh, keep walking with confidence. Effortlessly, you let them know who is in command. You just that and more. Don't forget it. God worked hard on you for sure. Lexus, Exodus. Shout out to my exes.
Class is in session every weekend with Sunday School with Lex. Connect with like-minded Black women every Sunday at 6 on the Lex's Exodus platform, where we have live panels and call-in shows in order to connect and share our stories, discuss divestment and other important topics pertaining to the plights of Black women, discuss self-empowerment and self-improvement, and much, much more. Tune in every Sunday at 6 p.m. ET at patreon.com/LexisExodus. See you soon.
Hey, boos, hey. It is Lexis Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are y'all doing? And like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening. Also, if you enjoy listening to my content on the go, the show is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for audio listeners. Go check out my Patreon community where you can get access to bonus episodes and exclusive content, and also a private community of like-minded divested women. It is linked below. Please also follow me on social media platforms. You can check me out everywhere on all platforms at Lexis Exodus. I also have a backup channel just in case something happens to this one. It is called LexX. That's LEXEX. You can find all of this information in the description below.
Y'all, I have so many great things going on, y'all. I am so busy, and I won't announce it here because some of y'all be weird, and I don't want y'all sending y'all's bad juju my way, y'all who be hate watching. Everybody don't got good energy. My Patreon group and mods know I've hit another major milestone in life, y'all. This one is crazy, something that this Black girl from the hood never would have thought would have been possible in a million years. Like literally something that is a generational change and will change the trajectory of my lineage. I'm super busy and proud of it, y'all. I'm also juicing. This started off as a 3-day juice cleanse. I decided to do 5. Today is day 4. Y'all know I'm cranky when I'm doing a juice fast or water fast. So you almost didn't get an episode tonight. However, going on vacation next week, so we'll be out. So I did want to check in with y'all before I leave about Eboni K Williams. Eboni. Now, for those of you who don't know, Eboni K Williams is the extremely successful Black woman attorney turned reality star and television personality who was dragged over the coals recently after doing an interview with Iyanla Vanzant saying she would refuse to date a bus driver or any other dusty who makes less than her. Child, and collectively, Black women went up for her. You know, we supported her. We was in them comment sections with Vaseline on our faces, snatching edges, hooping and hollering, going to bat for her. Well, in true Blackistan fashion, she buckled under the pressure and the backlash. And now, weeks later, dun, 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 it's Super Mammy. She put on that Mammy cape, and now she backpedaling and poom popping for whack males. Now she's admonishing Black women for being unmarried and is saying we need to prioritize whack men and marriage more instead of just college and degrees because our value declines as we age, according to Eboni, whereas whack males' value increases. She also says because there are not many whack male viable options who are educated and successful like we are, we need to be desperate. And we need to rush to get married to find our Black king when y'all both fresh out of college, when y'all both are broke-ass college students, when you 18, 19 years old, you're supposed to find someone equally as young and immature and financially unstable. You supposed to be busy finding your king so y'all can go off and live miserably ever after. Let's hear from the horse's mouth, y'all.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 Black women students for every 1 Black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young Black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of Black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half. Most women, even the most educated, high-earning ones, they want to be married, and they do want to have children in a more conventional way than I have chosen. And that is why I am talking to those women in particular, and I am targeting this advice to women that are young enough to do something about it on the front end. No way and no how do I believe that Black women's worth is dependent on being married or pushing out some man's big-headed baby. Of course, we have tremendous value in this world beyond our roles as wives and mother, and only somebody very ignorant to my full body of work or otherwise disingenuous would come to any other conclusion. Now, of course, women can still find love and, yes, even get married after college or after 40, or I'm gonna mess y'all up, after 60. And of course, Black women can be mothers in a litany of ways, including with partners they meet later in life, single mothers by choice, and so on and so on. And finally, of course, Black women can partner and marry non-Black men or Black men with different levels of education. And still I stand by what I said. Most educated Black women in this country desire to marry educated Black men. And they also want to have children under the construct of that marriage. And the most opportune time to set up that structure is when you are surrounded by Black men that are also pursuing their education. Last point. This is all about putting Black women in best position to create that lifestyle. And nothing I'm saying is guaranteeing that y'all will stay married or even be happy, because nothing can guarantee such a thing. I'm only saying out loud what pockets of Black elite communities have passed down generationally for years. And I respect that it's hard to hear, and no, you don't have to agree. But I am happy that we, as educated Black women, are hearing each other, are seeing each other, and we're having the conversation.
Da-da-da. Here comes Super Mammy. Put on that cape, Ebony. Girl, a whole clown. We were rooting for you, Ebony. We were all rooting for you. And this makes me so sad because Black women, including me, were doing backflips. I'm telling y'all, popping, trying to defend her, going bold, trying to defend her in the comments. When Mammy Ayanla Van Zant told her to date a bus driver. I even did a video dragging Ayanla, and here she go, spewing this hypocritical nonsense. Telling Black women to settle and hurry and marry because a large majority of Black males are uneducated and underqualified to be viable partners. I wish y'all would shut the fuck up. Seriously, will y'all leave Black women the fuck alone? Leave us alone. I'm so tired of people who are unmarried and childless trying to lecture Black women on why they should be married and have children. Just shut the fuck up. This is awful advice. And I don't want to drag you, Ebony. I don't know if I'm ready to take my earrings off yet. And quite frankly, that's because I don't even think you for real. I think you're a smart girl, incredibly intelligent, especially to reach your level of success and to finish law school and to be an attorney. I think you figured out that berating Black women in this manner equates to clicks and views. And I saw you promoting a judge show after this happened. We'll get more into your motives later, but I don't want to drag you quite yet, but you're going to get a nice little tongue lashing on today. Telling Black women that their value reduces as they age, but Black males' value increases when they age, while in the same breath acknowledging that there ain't that many successful, educated, professional Black men who are viable options to begin with anyway. That is silly and asinine. You sound like a fool, Ebony. Quite frankly, I believe you're projecting due to your failed relationships. I know you want to be a mother, you want to be a wife, but you are spewing dangerous rhetoric to younger, more impressionable women who look up to you and who want to be like you. And that pisses me the fuck off. Telling Black women they need to rush to get married young due to niggas' failures and shortcomings is fucked up. We should not be continuously telling Black women to adjust their excellence due to Nignog's shortcomings. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I'm tired of this shit. Tired of this shit. How about you tell Black women, due to the lack of viable options in the community, you need to more thoroughly vet and explore your options. This is dangerous rhetoric she's spewing, y'all. I'm telling y'all, marriages to people who get married too young do not fare well. First off, college students are financially unstable. We know that the number one reason for divorce is finances. So telling an 18 and 19-year-old to commit to marriage and this lifelong commitment of family and children before they even have their footing established is disastrous and stupid. Emotionally, most college-age students are unprepared as well. You haven't experienced enough life experience to be mature enough to make a lifelong commitment like marriage and to be having children. Studies even show the prefrontal cortex, the area that's responsible for things like planning, prioritizing, and making good decisions, isn't even fully developed until your mid to late 20s. So you telling young Black women to rush down the aisle and to do something like marriage, financially, emotionally, and mentally unprepared, is irresponsible and reprehensible. Quite frankly, you reckless, Ebony. And I'm only holding back partially, Ebony, because I truly don't believe you feel like this. Like I said, I think this is for clicks and views. She later did an interview after experiencing some backlash on The Breakfast Club and conveniently found a way to reference her judge show that's coming out. Quite frankly, I think this is money motivated. This is for likes and subscribes and views. Like many folks, I think after the whole bus driver situation, Ebony found out that Black women's outrage equates to money. And here's my thing. That's messed up. That's irresponsible. That's fucked up. And I feel like she's trying to play both sides of the fence because she ain't even calling y'all PhDs like the Manosphere Nignogs. She's saying y'all need to do both, bitch. You need to get the law degree, bring home 6 figures, bring home the bacon, cook the damn bacon, be a Stepford wife, be this domesticated pretty princess while simultaneously raising and bringing the children. She's telling y'all to be a mammy and a mule. Child, let's look at this video of this Muslim woman expressing these sentiments as well.
You can be single and free and travel and hang out with your girls and live this amazing life. But the reality is, women have an expiration date in terms of having a family. Men don't. You guys could be 70 and birth a new family if you wanted to. Don't know why you would, but if you did, you could do that. But as women, we have a limited time frame. I think it's like 28 or 30. So we only have this window. And when it passes, that's it.
Child, why the f are y'all so worried about what women do with their wombs? The shit is getting weird, y'all. Like, what is this weird obsession of motherfucking warning women every damn day about this impending doom and this hypothetical wall that they'll inevitably hit? It's almost like it's a medical revelation that doctors just found out that 70-year-olds can't have children. No shit, Sherlock. Like, seriously. Women will be sitting there minding their businesses, especially Black women. Will order a macchiato at Starbucks. Here come these dummies. You gonna die alone, bitch. You old musty bitch. Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Leave us the f alone. This chick don't even know what the She's talking about there's a window where women can no longer have children. That's 28. Wrong. You're wrong. I know Ahmed don't allow you to get out much, but before you talk about important topics like this, I'm going to need you to at least conduct a basic Google search, sis. Because you're just loud and wrong. This aging hit the wall thing is low-key PDF file-ish, and it's getting sick because the bar keeps moving. The standard keeps changing, and the age for quote-unquote hitting the wall seems to be getting younger and younger every day. She's talking about 28. That's when you hit your peak. Like this is the reason why niggas feel comfortable saying a new set of 18-year-olds graduate every year. Because women will co-sign this bullish, talking about a woman is no longer of childbearing age of 28. Y'all women make me fucking sick. I expect that from the nignogs, but not from women. Talking about we have an expiration date and nignogs don't. You shitting me? Because I don't know many niggas who reach past the age of 60, child. They all kicking a bucket prematurely. So if anything, their peak and their prime is earlier. The way they dropping like flies. Child, my maternal grandmother is 85, alive and kicking. My maternal grandfather passed 20 damn years ago when he had just turned 60, child. And that's a recurrent thing that I've been seeing. Even in these YouTube streets, we've seen these niggas kick the bucket. If they're lucky enough to reach the age of 60, typically they don't reach that age, but we know the clock is ticking. And they tend to pass shortly after. This tired argument is what makes Black women rush into this rash decision-making, like having children and getting married prematurely. This is why we have Rihanna's settling. And although she's a billionaire, being okay with becoming a baby mama by a Dusty with a fraction of her net worth. This is what makes celebrity A-listers like Halle Bailey, Our Little Mermaid, who have the world at their fingertips and haven't even seen an inkling of the precipice of their career, be okay with getting knocked up by goddamn YouTubers because of this stupid ass shit. They want y'all to be a MAMMY or a MULE. So now that we're talking about this, I want to look at the reality of married women's life who followed Eboni's advice.
In the life of a childless woman, the point is to make you feel good about being an aging, deeply unlikable woman who never had kids.
People decide to be child-free for a lot of reasons, but let me give you some specific examples straight from my comment section. While in excruciating pain from a kidney infection, my husband came to me to ask if dinner would be ready by 7. I told him if he wants to cook it. He proceeded to make only himself eggs. P.S. We have 3 children ages 6 and under. My mom was out of town and my dad claimed to not know how to put on sheets or start the dishwasher. The day after I came home from a C-section with a catheter still in from a bladder repair, I was the one making dinner while my husband was on his Xbox. I was in the hospital recovering from having cancer removed from my body. My ex-husband went and played basketball. Our neighbor talked him into visiting me at the hospital because cancer. He argued with me about when I was coming home to take care of the kids. Pregnant and bedridden with hyperemesis gravidarum here, haven't been able to eat or drink for 2 weeks, constant ER trips, and he had the nerve to tell me the dishes need to be done because he needed a fork to eat. Instead of running the dishwasher himself, he bought disposable plasticware. The men at my husband's job asked him why he's taking 2 to 3 weeks off when I give birth, since there's nothing for you to do anyways. My husband plays with my son when we're around extended family, and they all think it's weird. Says something about their husbands. I planned, shopped, decorated, and cooked all the food for our kids' graduation party. I asked my husband for help, and he decided to paint the house. 4 days after having my fallopian tubes removed, I had to be bent over the bathtub bathing our 2-year-old. I asked him each day to do it, and he wouldn't. My husband refused to get out of bed and help me when I was crying in pain in the bathtub during labor. I kept texting him, he kept reading the text and ignoring it, then going back to sleep. My mom had to force me to allow him to come see the birth. My ex-husband just leaving me to go to work because he cashed in his vacation time instead of saving it for the week after I gave birth. My ex decided that doing the kids' laundry and making the bed was too much work, so he made his half of the bed, his laundry, and did his dishes. Never the kids' laundry or dishes or mine. Yeah, he made half the bed. I was messy, but since the divorce, I think he's realized that kids are work. When I was getting induced and in labor for 26 hours, my ex had a rager in my apartment. I came home and had to clean and take care of a newborn. My ex-husband would send my sons to their grandparents if I went out of town so he could party. He never spent a night alone with either kid. My son's bio dad yelled at me in the hospital for not packing another clean shirt after yelling at me for not sharing my meds from the C-section. He also asked at one point, "Is this gonna take any longer?" 36 hours of labor followed by an unplanned C-section. first baby, ex-husband had 6 weeks of paternity leave, asked him to watch our son so I could take a nap. He said, "I didn't take 6 weeks off to help you. I have stuff to do." After I got a tubal and a uterine ablation after having our last child, I was supposed to rest. He woke me up to feed the baby, even though I had taken out frozen breast milk and bottles for him to use. Just had foot surgery on crutches, asked my ex to swing by the store for groceries after work. He complained that he was tired. I went with crutches because the scooters were dead, newborn in a carrier on my chest. I get home and he reiterated how tired. My ex-husband slept through the majority of both of my labors, 39 and a half hours, 26 and a half hours. The second time the midwife told him he was only allowed to stay with me and my son overnight if he was going to actually help in the night, he went home to sleep alone instead. Now I finally see why our mothers were so angry and stressed out all the time.
This is a reality. This is reality. And listen, if you want marriage advice, take it from people who have been married. This mushmouth motherfucker talking about child-free women are aged and unlikable. That's what the news anchor said. Nah, they refusing to do this. Free emotional slave labor. They don't want to be a MAMMY and a MULE. Straight from the horse's mouth. So we just listened to woman after woman detailing how marriage is not something to be rushed into, like Eboni is trying to tell you to do. Women talking about recovering from kidney infections, C-section surgery, cancer, for God's sake. And these effing dumb morons, they married to out playing basketball on Xbox, still expecting their wives to mule and cook and clean for them. The one lady said her spouse said he was hungry when she was ill, so she told him to cook. He only cooked for himself, and they had 3 damn children. Y'all wake the F up. Like, seriously, motherhood and marriage can be absolutely beautiful. I know personally, I love my lifestyle, but I ain't gonna lie like it ain't work. It's tedious and painstaking, oftentimes thankless. It's difficult, emotional. Labor is hard work. I remember almost passing while giving birth, and I'm not being hyperbolic. I had preeclampsia. Both me and my child almost passed in the hospital. I was experiencing excruciating labor pains and contractions because I didn't have an epidural. So I asked my son's father to massage my back. He did it for a while, then turned around and told me his hands hurt. I said, nigga, what? We was in a hospital almost dying, y'all. Like, seriously. And this is what he told me. Y'all don't do this. Don't do this. I've been there. Got the t-shirt. It's ghetto. Would not recommend. I rushed into marriage and motherhood very young, like Eboni is saying. I did that at 23. And we both weren't emotionally, financially, or mentally prepared for motherhood or marriage. And listen, y'all know if white women complaining about this, black women are experiencing it so much worse. When white women have a paper cut, black women get a damn bullet wound. So let's watch this, and then we will talk through.
Let me say this, and I don't give a fuck who gets mad. This video that I did 10 days ago, attached to this comment, clearly it's a class of men and women really not ready to talk about this. But peep this. See that number up there? In 10 days, there are almost 600 comments of women who have gone through this. Let's look at some, shall we? Since y'all think women be lying. This was my marriage. Got into a heated argument because I had COVID and asked him to do the grocery shopping. Baby, tell me about it. Now the husband wants to know why the kids don't talk to them and they feel left out. I barely talked to my father and he is flabbergasted. Simply cannot understand since he was technically there. Facts. I'm on my way to divorce now because I realized that I was doing so much without him and we were married. Right. I was single as fuck. And my daughter and I lived in that 5-bedroom house by ourselves. We never saw him. He came, got showered and dressed and left. Oh, it's more. Honey, I tried to miss my ex-husband after I left. One day I tried to cry about it, but I couldn't think of anything he did to miss. When I married my second husband, I had 2 kids. I might as well have stayed a single mother. Facts. I might as well have stayed a single mother. When I went to school, he got worse. Same. My kids leveled up. I went on ahead and left the marriage. Same here. I was a married single mother. They will never be ready to talk about it. Jeep fam say, yep, I was there one time. What y'all finna stop doing is invalidating women's experiences. There are too many, and that's why don't nobody want to get married no more. Because some of y'all don't know what marriage is. Every woman for the comments that I grabbed, Again, there are over 500, right? Every woman went into these relationships believing the person that they were with, they would stay with and build life with. Somewhere along the line, somebody didn't pull their weight and she got tired of pulling the whole damn thing. Y'all over here hollering like you don't need to go to therapy. Yes, the fuck y'all do. Yes, the fuck y'all do. Because there's no reason in the world why a woman should be with somebody and still do more work as if she was by herself. Girl, child, look. When my husband and I broke up, I was relieved. Do you hear me? Relieved. I can't muster up the will to give a fuck. I'm like, I'm so glad he gone. Because that's one less thing I got to do. People will trick you, beloveds. And men lie. But I'm going to say this. Once you find out what you got, leave. But we lying though.
Bingo. And listen, all romantic relationships are hard work. They just are. Inherently, they're hard work. When I was single and child-free, I loved being able to come home when I please, not having to check in with anyone, walk around in my PJs and braless if I wanted to, skipping meals and going to bed at dinner time because I wasn't hungry. You can't do that with a spouse and children, child. After getting married, y'all, I gained like 20 pounds because my partner ain't missing no meals. And I lost it recently. I'm actually doing a juice fast now, and I fast every so often just to kind of maintain those health benefits. But seriously, there's a lot more that goes into marriage and kids. People think it's just matching outfits and these cute photo ops every holiday. That is grueling hard work. I've said this before. If I could go back to my 20s with the money that I have now in my 30s and none of the responsibility, I'd probably buy a bomb-ass house in Mexico somewhere. Especially now since it's so beautiful, real estate is so cheap abroad and everyone can work from anywhere now. I would do that in a heartbeat. But you can't do that when you're married with kids. Literally, your life centers around your family. And this is why I encourage women to take their time before deciding to get married and also prior to having children to ensure that that's the correct choice for you. Marriage and parenthood is a very personal decision, and anyone trying to influence you to do it otherwise, especially prematurely when you're very, very young and unestablished, is dead wrong. Again, it comes with major benefits, but those benefits require equally significant sacrifices. Let's look at this next woman that illustrates the reality of a lot of these women who took Eboni's advice.
I was not prepared in motherhood to constantly have to find the patience. Like, I have to find the patience all hours of the day to do everything and anything because no one told me how taxing it is to hear someone say my God, stay up. No one tells you how taxing it is to hear someone whine or cry or say mama, 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 mama all the time. 24/7. Like, there's no way to mentally prepare for your brain to handle that. And on top of it, all you're trying to do is things for them. Like, you're trying to make food, or you're trying to get dishes done so that you can have dishes to make more food, or you're cleaning laundry, or you're cleaning up a mess or something. You're constantly doing something to care for the house or for the child or for the children or kids or animals or whatever. And then they don't see that. They only see the fact that you're not paying attention to them, so then they want more of your attention. And you're like, I'm already giving you all of my attention. I know you don't realize it, but I am. And you're running on fumes, and you just need 5 minutes where you don't have someone saying something, making noise. Like, the auditory overload is insane. And then it's like, what sucks even more right now is, like, I don't have my car, and so I feel so trapped. And my husband, like, he works so hard for our family, and so he's finally gonna do something he hasn't done since we've been together, which is go hunting. We've been together for 5 years, and this man has talked about it all 5 years. Like, he's finally gonna go. And all I can think about is how I'm gonna be solo parenting for a couple days, and it's not even that much, but it's just like, I want a break. And I know that he gives me, it's not him, it's not my husband, like, he gives me breaks and stuff, but I just, like, you can't ever just take a day off of parenting. Like, you can't just go like, I need a sick day, I'm gonna take a mental health day, I'm gonna take a day to recharge so that I could be a better mom tomorrow or for the next month or 2 months or 3 months. You can't do that. And it's like, yes, I could ask my mom for help, or, you know, like I'm lucky enough to do that. But realistically, as parents, like, until you're doing it, you don't realize how hard it is. And I'm just taking, 2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting to myself, and I feel so much guilt because I know that I left my baby in her crib to sit there and just like chill for a second because I'm overwhelmed and I need a minute and I needed to vent and get it off my chest. So I have the patience to make it through the rest of the day if she decides not to nap, which is what it's looking like. And I hate this narrative online where you go online and you see all these people getting all this shit done all day, every day. And I'm like, how are you doing it with so much patience? Like, I don't have that. I'm trying really hard to get it. I'm just like overstimulated all the fucking time. And it's hard. And it sucks. I feel better now that I talked about it. Alright, I'm gonna stop being a pansy. I'm gonna go pour myself a Dr. Pepper, and I'm gonna get into my kid's room again, and I'm gonna go, you ready for the afternoon? Maybe let's go outside and get some sunshine. Let's go play with the dog. Let's play with chalk. I don't know. Maybe I'll just get popsicles out and make everybody happy because it's not for the weak, and I just wanted you to know that. If you're having a hard day with me, we're gonna get through it.
Listen, I may tell you a joke, but I will not tell you a lie. This is the reality of motherhood. And I don't give a damn how great your relationship is. And I'm not trying to deter motherhood or marriage. Again, I've experienced the beauty of both. However, I will say do not be naive about either. Motherhood is hard. It is. Even when you're married. I want to echo this lady's sentiments. Women often lie and romanticize marriage and motherhood when this is the reality of it. Raising children is difficult. No one tells you this. The only thing I remember being warned about when I was young, when it comes to motherhood, is being told not to become a teen mom. Like, I remember watching Mari cover teen mothers and hearing them talk about the hardships of being a young single mother. I also remember in middle school getting one of those fake babies that simulate a real baby and cry, and you have to feed them, and we had to take them home over the weekend to warn us against premature motherhood. So in my naive mind, I thought, okay, that's easy. I just got to avoid becoming a teen mother. But when I'm older, it'll be easy. It'll be a walk in the park as long as I'm grown. I had no idea that people who are grown adult women who are married, look, you see, she got a ring on her finger, struggle with parenting as well. They do, because parenting is a 24/7, grueling, thankless, around-the-clock job. Like, why do y'all think so many women suffer from postpartum depression? It's not just the physical ramifications and hormonal impact. It's the mental toll as well. Picture being able to nap when you want, sleeping as long as you want, vacation whenever you want, go out, hell, go shopping, go out to eat whenever you want, eating whenever and whatever you want. And there's a TikTok trend that's going viral of single women talking about this concept of having girl dinners that just consist of whatever random food you have laying around the house. When I was single and I didn't feel like going out or cooking, I would have lots of girl dinners. So yeah, I would have some ramen for dinner, sometimes a glass of wine and some peanuts and string cheese for dinner if I wanted. Then I'd take my ass to bed. That completely changes when you become a mother. That changes when you become a wife. Literally every single action that you take has to be centered around a baby's life. Everything. And again, even when you're married, it's hard. We just sat here and saw all those women complain about being married single mothers. And I know the trend now on TikTok is for women to vocalize this, but we talked about the concept of married single mothers a year ago. I'll post a video down below. The fact is, even if you have a contributing partner, it's still hard. Like, you think y'all can just pick up when you want to when you're a parent? Hell nah. Those days are over when you have children. I was married to my son's father and was a stay-at-home mom for the first year. And even as a married person, being a stay-at-home mom, it was difficult. If you think your husband gonna want to get off working all day for 8 hours just to come home to you walking out the door, handing him a crying baby while you bounce and do your thing, it don't work like that. And some may say, okay, well, the work should still be more equally distributed. Well, typically most men think if they bring home the bacon and you a stay-at-home mom, that's it. Once they off, they done. You expected to take care of the children. around the clock. Forget about them regular hair salon visits. Forget about nail appointments. You can't do that with a baby on your hip. Something as simple as running errands with a baby is a pain too. Because first off, you got to prep like you going on vacation. You packing bottles and wipes and tissues and baby food and blankets and a change of clothes just in case, toys. You lugging around a car seat and a stroller just to go to the damn grocery store to pick up some milk. She talks about the pain of hearing a child say, mommy, mommy, mama, 24 hours a day. Child, that's when they can talk. Think about the first few years when they can't even tell you. So instead of hearing mommy all day, you hearing wailing, screaming, and frantic crying 24 hours a day and just got to guess what they want until eventually you get it right. You want a bottle? Oh, okay. You still crying. You don't want that. You want your diaper change? Okay, I did that. You still crying. What do you want? You sleepy? You won't go to sleep. Like, parenthood is not for the weak, y'all. So don't let these women convince you to rush into marriage and motherhood haphazardly. Don't let them trick you into being a mammy and a mule.
Men are not. Let's watch this.
I know, but she's been in her crib since 3.
I didn't know that.
What? You didn't know where your daughter was at 3?
4:30 and she was taking a nap.
Oh, wow. Went to sleep at 4:30. Sweet. What a great mom.
So, this mother was home. When her very young child was taking a nap, she decided to go upstairs and take a nap as well. Her husband is home at this time. When she wakes up from her nap a few hours later, he informs her that she is still in her crib and that she has been in her crib since the mom went to sleep several hours earlier, even though he knew that she was awake and crying. When she asks, why didn't you check on the baby? You're her father. He says, oh, well, I thought our teenage daughter was going to do that. I didn't know I was supposed to do that. When the mom points out that that is not the daughter's responsibility, he goes into this rage talking about how, well, I was making dinner and I was doing this and doing that. To which she responds, I do all of those things every single day and I still check on the baby. To which he responds, this just feels like you have an agenda against me. Yeah, Ken, the agenda is you should be watching your children.
Do y'all hear this? Told y'all keep letting women like Eboni K Williams convince you that men are the prize and that you need to rush into having children and being wife at a very young age. When you do things like that, this happens. You become a super mammy or a mule. This dude she's married to is a plumb dumb fool. You must be out your mind talking about while the mom took a nap, you expected the 60-year-old to watch the baby. Like I told y'all, if you're a stay-at-home mom, most men aren't going to want to keep their baby after a 12-hour day. They're just not. Even if you're working too, they'll still expect for you to carry the brunt of the child rearing and raising. So things like this often happen, which is why I advise women not to rush into marriage and parenthood blindly because of this foolishness about your age child. You should be very thoughtful, very cautious, and very careful about doing this. That's coming from someone who's living it, though. Eboni has never had kids and is not married, so I don't know why she's giving this problematic advice. Now let's look at the other side of the coin and talk about how contrastingly, what the life of a child-free and single person experiences.
They did a study on 23,000 women and found single mothers spent less time on household chores and get more sleep than married women with kids. I studied exactly this in my undergrad. I wanted to know before I left my marriage whether or not single motherhood was going to be to my detriment and my kids' detriment. And what they found was that it was all money. If women found a way to be financially independent, then the kids didn't have an issue. They fared better. They were in a loving, stable home. Everything was okay. And the father could still be present, still have visitation, or if they were already not involved, that just continued. Why do you think we see so many celebrity single moms where their kids are raised just fine and everybody is just happy? It comes down to the money. Think about it.
Child, this woman said that single mothers do less work than married mothers. And I haven't seen this study in order to support or counter what she's arguing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. And I know, like I said, everybody now is talking about this concept of married single mothers. I discussed this long ago before it became popular on TikTok and YouTube. Again, I'll post a video below. I encourage you to check it out. But the reality is a lot of women, especially Black women, are married but still doing everything on their own. They're already mammies and mules and are working, doing the child rearing and raising on their own. This is why you should not rush into relationships, marriage, or parenthood. Look at this next woman who illustrates what the life of a single, child-free woman is like.
Please tell me what your life is.
Gen X here. I just turned 47 years old last week. I have a partner of 13 and a half years, and we do not have children. You asked me and your followers what it is like for people our age not to have children. So I'm going to respond brutally and honestly. But keep in mind, this is my own personal experience, my own personal journey. And so my experience may not end up being your experience. And I'm not saying that my experience should be everybody else's experience. I am overjoyed and believe that I made 100% the best decision for my life not to have children. Opposite of what your parents are saying, I felt that I would regret and that I would be resentful if I had children. And I think that that would have been a horrible environment for a child to be in and a waste of my life. And a lot of people may say that me choosing to put myself first is selfish, will be the first people to be like, freedom. Well, I exercised my freedom to live my life the way that I wanted, and I couldn't be happier for it. So what is my life filled with if not for children? I have a full-time research job that I am really satisfied with, and that helps people all across the globe. I'm currently authoring my first book, forthcoming by HarperCollins Designs. It keeps me really busy at night when I have a full-time job. And even at 47 years old, I still muster up the energy to be a world traveler. That is like my greatest passion, is traveling the world. In December, instead of deciding to stand in line for Christmas gifts or, worrying over what I was going to do for New Year's, I packed up with my partner and we went island hopping. And I'm not talking about cruises. Do I look like a cruise girl? I'm not a cruise ship kind of girl. We went sexy grown island hopping through Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Bart's, Guadeloupe. We hiked an active volcano. We snorkeled and saw sea turtles. I was invited to cover Stockholm as a destination as a writer, and it was like fully paid for, and Stockholm ended up being one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been to. And I'm currently planning trips to Argentina, Croatia, Bosnia, Greece, and Italy. My only kind of regret and guilt is the opposite. My friends that have kids actually want me to vacation more and sit in a suburb with them, and I feel kind of guilty sometimes that I don't. That guilt dissipates pretty fast when you're eating a big bowl of pasta in Rome.
Listen, don't let these women gaslight you. I understand the maternal and biological desire to want to have children and marriage. That's normal. That's natural, Black women. I'm not going to tell you all men are bad, because I don't believe that. And I know that's the popular theme and messaging that's happening, especially on YouTube right now. I do believe that women are the better gender, but I do not believe that all men are inherently evil. Even though that's the popular rhetoric nowadays, I won't say that, because I don't agree. I don't agree that marriage or motherhood is bad either. I think parenthood and marriage can be very beautiful, but only with the right person. So do not rush into it. Getting married and having kids during college is an awful decision. At 18, 19 years old, you are a child. Again, I did that and it didn't work out well. Ebony did that and it didn't work out well. She got married while in college and got divorced shortly after. That is a quick way to end up unequally yoked, because you both broke and you both trying to find your footing. So you don't know any better. Y'all both at the same level. I was smarter, more ambitious, and more upwardly mobile than my ex. I didn't realize that though, because we were both struggling students. So I didn't get that until it was too late, and until I ended up being in relationships with men who I would eventually easily outpace and surpass in life. This woman says she went island hopping and hiked an active volcano. That is a flex. My coworker, who's child-free, just got back from Paris for 2 weeks. My other coworker, who is an empty nester, went to St. Kitts for 2 weeks. I'm like, a 2-week vacation must be nice. Even this vacation, I'm planning domestically soon in a few weeks. I can't even think about a 2-week vacation because I'm a mom. And these women like to gas you up like you should be doing it all and juggling parenthood and marriage while also earning your degrees and muling and slaving at work. The reality is you should be prioritizing self-development, professional development, personal development first, and finding your footing first. 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds are not in any form or fashion emotionally mature or financially secure enough to be thinking about marriage. So don't let these women shame you into believing otherwise. Don't let them convince you to be a mammy and a mule. Again, ask Ebony. She got married in college as well, and it didn't last long. Let's check out the opinion of this child-free older woman who vocalizes this.
And having kids is not all that it's cracked up to be. I have none. I don't miss it. I'm not a mother. I'm not a granny. And when they want to call me granny in an interview article, I say, call me witch, bitch, anything, but do not call me granny. It's by choice that I'm not a granny, and I never will be. Thank you very much. I so love.
Listen, I know that's right, Miss Mama's looking fabulous. Like she hasn't had all the life sucked out from her by marriage and children. This woman is vibrant. She's full of energy and life. So fashionable. She looks very, very pretty. She said, call me bitch, call me witch, but don't call me granny. I'm child free by choice. And I love it. Let's look at the account of this last older woman also sharing her insight. And shout out to Tanya TKO who shared this video on her platform.
If you had to give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
Obey my mother. I finished high school at 16, and she had planned to send me from Fort Worth back to Marshall, Texas to Wiley College, because I would have been the first grandchild of her 18 sisters and brothers to go to college, but I got married. Oh, she was so disappointed. And it took me 4 years and 4 babies to realize I was going to have to raise my husband too. So I cut my losses. I went home to my mother. And do you know, I had nerve enough to say, I'm ready to go to college now. And she says, I got no money to send you to nobody's college.
Wow. And again, shout out to Tanya TKO who shared this video and gives her reaction to this as well. Check out her channel to see her commentary. Listen, y'all need to listen to women who've been married and who have had children. These are words of a very wise woman. She says she should have prioritized college. She should have prioritized her career. Instead, she ended up with 4 children and raising her damn nignog of a husband too. This is what happens when you rush into marriage and motherhood. This is what happens when you decide to become a mammy and a mule. Child. So what are y'all's thoughts about this? What are y'all's thoughts specifically about Eboni K Williams admonishing Black women and lecturing us, telling us that our value declines as we age? However, Black males' value increases. Conversely, what do y'all think about her emphasizing and admitting to the fact that there are not as many viable options for Black women who seek to date Black males because they're not as educated and not as successful as us? Do you agree with her advice? What should young Black women be doing instead if you disagree? I'm so curious to hear y'all's thoughts. Sound off down below. Until next time, see you guys. Bye.
Even if you think I should, bitch, bigger, I don't give
Fellas, if y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.